I'd do a review on my new e-bike. It is the Giant Fastroad E Plus EX Pro, which is kind of a long name, and interestingly it doesn't say it anywhere on the bike. So the other bike that I was looking at is the Trek, which I think is probably comparable to this bike. That's the Elant Plus 8S. The reason I chose this, basically price, $3,500 as opposed to $4,300. I ordered the bike online, which is interesting. You can order it, and then it can be delivered to whatever bike store you want that Giant is authorized to represent. So I purchased it from Deschutes Cycling in Olympia, and great guys, did a great job. So there's 3 types of e-bikes out there: level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. This is a level 3. It goes 28 miles an hour top speed. A level 1 is the same bike but only 20 miles an hour. So the ride, I'll show a video of me riding a bike with no power and with power. I would say it rides like a bicycle. It's a little heavier. It's about 54 pounds. If you had this bike non-battery, non-powered, probably be about 25 pounds. So it adds a little bit of weight, but I don't think you really notice it at all. And generally you're not really riding it very often without the power, but you can, and it does a great job at it. So the fit on these bikes, usually if you're a medium large, you want to go with an extra large, and I'm just referring that from my the cycle shop that I purchased it from. They just recommend get a little bit longer. You can always make some adjustments. If you need to shorten up the stem, you could bring this back or do a different handlebar, move the seat up slightly. Just gives you, because of the speed, I think they just, you know, it's a little bit nicer to have a little more room, stretch it out a little bit, and then tighten it. So the motor here, it's Giant labeled, and it is a Yamaha. The other main competitor is a Bosch speed motor, and this is Yamaha's. Yamaha's been around older than any other electrified bicycle. They were the first to make one. This is super quiet. It does a torque sensor in it, as well as a cadence. A lot of the cheaper bikes just have a cadence, so how fast the wheel's spinning is how they're going to deliver the power. This actually feels the torque that you're using and gives you a better adjustment, I believe. I don't know. So display's good. It's got a fair amount of information. It will tell you how much battery you got. The light is always on, or you can turn it off via this, but and the light works great. It has a rear light as well. You got 5 modes: eco, basic, active, sport, and power. You know, I ride a lot in the eco mode, and I find that's pretty good if you're just really not trying to get at a real high speed, but you just want to keep moving. You can also get online, and with an app you can make adjustments to those, which I think I will at a certain point. The eco mode is based on 100%. This performance, the high end is 360, so I guess 360% of your power, and then 100%, so you get 1-to-1 ratio at the eco. You can drop this down to 25%, which I think I would do to just have something that helps you along, but you can really get some good battery life. And then I would probably turn the basic into the eco, and then the basic into active, and then get rid of the sport, make that the active, and then the performance obviously top end. The battery is housed in this. Looks nice, complete, has a lock. You can right here is actually your charging port. It's actually one of my first beefs. This thing I forget to lock it a lot of times. It's also really difficult to get out. And I don't like where they situated that. Would have been nicer to put it up here, I think. But anyhow, that's where it is. And then you just close that before you ride. Again, I've ridden this thing for about 170 miles, and I've forgotten to close that a couple times. And I'm in the Northwest where there's rain and stuff, so I don't like it way down low where it can really get wet. The battery that it comes with is 375 watts. I think a 500 watt battery would be a better choice, but that's what it came with. Obviously, it probably has to do with cost, keeping the cost down. The lithium batteries are expensive. At the point of changing it, I think I would go with a 500 watt just to get a little bit more mileage. Speaking of the mileage, I'm 225, so a little bit heavier rider, obviously having to push a little bit more. I'm getting about 25 miles at performance and probably about 35 miles in eco. I did do a test on this, and I drove this bike to commute in eco, and I burned up 35% of the battery in 10 miles. I put it in performance, the fastest, so I was really going at basically the top end speed, and used 55% of the battery. I tried putting it in active, which is right in the middle, and rode the same route, and I used 55% of the battery. So I don't know how accurate these things are, but you can see there's definitely, unless you go really down to a low eco mode, you don't seem to get much difference. But again, I'm in the Northwest. I got a lot of hills. It's been really cold. Been riding at about 35 to 50 degrees, you know, which probably taxes the battery a little bit because it's cold all the time. The charger that it comes with. This is a charger, and it is a brick. Probably one of my other beefs with it. It works fine, but the size makes it having to bring it with you. It weighs about 4 pounds, and it's big and bulky. I don't mind so much the weight, but the size of the brick is kind of just takes up a lot of my backpack space. An additional one so I could keep one at work, and then have the other one for my house. That would just ease it up. But I think hopefully next generation they'll get this to a cost value on this bike. $3,500 is a lot of money. I bought it to commute with, also to use up at a cabin where I do a lot of gravel roads, and it does great on the gravel roads. It is a hardtail, hard front, so you know you're not going to go super fast on the gravel roads, but it will do that, so that's nice. Probably could do some nice easy smooth single tracks, be kind of fun. But let's see, if you're going to use it every single day to commute, absolutely, I think it's a worthwhile investment. There are cheaper bikes out there. You could go with a you know, maybe a rad power. They're out of Seattle. Theirs are coming in at about $1,500. but you're not going to get the pedal assist. You're going to have more of a hub motor, which will sit in the back of the bike. And the components on some of those bikes may not be quite up to real high quality, but you know, if you want an entry level, I wanted to spend a little bit more money. I figured this is an investment, you know, 10-20 years, hopefully I can get riding out of it. Cost savings on gas is about $20 a week, so $1,000 a year, 3.5 years in gas, plus you know, maintenance on my van. Probably saved me a lot of money. So overall, very happy. Fun to ride. Really goes super quick. Just terrorizes hills. It makes it going up a hill just so much easier. Makes you want to ride more than my old bike, which I did commute with for several years, and I just got tired of going up hills and getting to work really hot and sweaty and wiped out. This one just you know, makes it a joy. So it's